Hello everyone. Welcome to Module 6, where we will explore social class and classism. So what is class? Class refers to one's social standing in relation to income, wealth, education, social status, and power. It encompasses broad groups of individuals who hold similar economic or social positions, influenced by factors like earnings, assets, education, occupational roles, skills, and influence within the economic or political systems. Class is shaped not only by material possessions or income, but also by social networks and knowledge. Our sense of class impacts us emotionally and personally, not just financially. It shapes our self-perception and how we relate to others. So what is classism? Classism involves unfair treatment based on a person's actual or assumed social class. It shows up in personal attitudes and actions, institutional policies and systems, and the broader cultural norms and values. Like other forms of bias, classism often relies on harmful stereotypes. For example, assuming that poor people are lazy. What is deficit theory in schools? Deficit theory in education refers to viewing students primarily in terms of what they lack, rather than recognizing their strengths. This mindset is fueled by persistent stereotypes and fails to account for structural issues like unequal access to quality education. The emphasis is on changing individuals instead of addressing broader economic inequities. How do we determine our class? Our social class can shift throughout our lives as our income, assets, or job status change. However, the class we are born into often has the most lasting influence on our identity and perspective. Because class distinctions are not always clear-cut, it helps to reflect on various factors such as your parents' education, the type of jobs they held, whether it was manual labor or professional, whether your family income was earned or inherited, your housing situation, whether owning, renting, or public housing, and access to health care and so many other things. Is class just about money, or is it also about perception? Class is a relative concept that includes both subjective elements, how we perceive ourselves, and objective ones, like financial resources and influence. For example, some unionized workers may earn similar salaries to college professors, but still consider themselves working class due to their family background, the societal value placed on their jobs, or the limited power they have in the workplace. Our experiences of class are also shaped by our race, gender, and ethnicity. While personal perceptions vary, it's generally true that those at the top of the economic ladder hold more power and privilege, while those at the bottom face more barriers and fewer opportunities. How we interpret our class experience can depend on whether we're comparing ourselves to those above or below us on the social scale. How does intersectionality factor in? Well, there is the intersection of race and class. Racial minorities often experience lower wages than their white counterparts. Schools represent Western and middle-class perspectives and typically reject linguistically diverse students' home languages and cultures. There is systemic bias in the criminal justice system that disproportionately affects racial minorities and low-income individuals. This will be your final set of journal entries. You will reflect on various aspects of your economic background to help you obtain a personal understanding of class. You will also reflect on classism in your socialization experiences. As always, I look forward to reading your journal entries.